Hey everybody, it's Brittany Parker. So as promised, I promised you all that I would show you how to make my homemade DIY body butter. So you may be shocked to find out what the ingredients are, because if you're not familiar with the word tallow, you may not know that tallow is actually made from rendered beef fat. That's right, beef fat. Shocker, I know, but so if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, you definitely do not want to use this recipe. I'm going to be sharing some other recipes in the future that are for vegans and vegetarians that have other butters in them, like shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, apricot seed oil, different oils like that that are for vegans or vegetarians that you may prefer better. But I discovered tallow balm maybe like 3 years ago. It was when Pepper was a baby, and nothing compares. The stuff is amazing for your skin, so good for your skin. And the reason why I started making it was because my sister-in-law Chandra actually was making it because her hands would get so dry and cracked in the winter months, and nothing was helping until she started using tallow balm. And so when I was home for Christmas, that Christmas my hands were the same way, and so I started using it and I became obsessed. And the farm that we were buying our raw milk from just happened to have happy grass-fed tallow available, so I started making my own. And some of you maybe have purchased it because I used to make it and sell it, but I don't anymore. So that's why I'm showing you how to make it yourself. So first off, a little bit about tallow really quickly, because I'm kind of in a rush because I'm supposed to be at my neighbor's house right now for a grill out. Okay, so tallow is from rendered beef. It is so good for your skin because it absorbs easily into the skin, and it creates a very soft and supple skin, and it contains an abundance of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, K, and E. It's also really high in omega-3s, which omega-3s help your body to hold moisture, so that's why it's really good for that. It also has anti-inflammatory conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, and so that's really good for your skin as well. 50% of our cell membranes come from saturated fats, and so that's why tallow balm works so well in our skin, and why it's so nourishing to our skin, because 50% of our skin is made from saturated fats. And the saturated fats are actually what give cell membranes their stiffness and their integrity. So if you're thinking about like the expansion of the skin and elasticity of the skin, tallow balm is really good for that. Using tallow is really good for that. So if any of you are mamas and maybe you've stretched out your skin from pregnancy, you want it to kind of go back, or if you are going to be pregnant soon, get yourself some homemade tallow balm and start making that for your growing belly to help kind of build up elasticity in the skin. Okay, so that's a little bit about tallow. If you want to look up more, just look up tallow. It's not lard. Lard is different. It's rendered beef fat. So, and you can get it at any farm that has grass-fed. I would only buy it from grass-fed, organic-fed cows, preferably Jersey cows or some other European breed. Holsteins are pretty much freak of natures that have been genetically modified, so you do not want to get any sort of product from a Holstein cow. So we get ours from Grassway Organics, which is an amazing organic farm up in Kiel, Wisconsin. That's also where we get raw milk, so which I probably shouldn't say that on Facebook. Whoops. Anyways, that's where we get our milk. Okay, so that's where we get and sometimes it can be called beef suey. So tallow or beef suey, sometimes people aren't familiar with the word tallow. Beef suey is also another name for it. This is already rendered, so that means it's been melted down and strained. Okay, so for this recipe, what I do basically is I get a bowl that's safe for going in the oven, or you can do this in your crock pot. You're gonna put your tallow balm into your bowl. It looks like this. It's hard, this is frozen. You're gonna melt it down in your bowl. Or you can pop it in the oven at like 200, melt it down, and you're gonna or use your crock pot to melt it on slow. You don't want to do high heat. It is high heat safe, but I just like to do low heat. So I put the oven on like 200, I melt down my tallow, and then once it's completely melted, then I'm gonna add my olive oil. So here's the ratio, you guys. For every 4 cups of tallow, and this is the secret ingredient, because tallow by nature on its own is hard. So see how hard it is in here? That's not gonna go on your body. So you need to add some other plant-based oils that are really gonna meld well with your tallow. And personal favorite is olive oil. So I add 1 cup olive oil to every 4 cups of tallow. And this time I actually decided to experiment a little bit. And I also added, so I had a little bit over 4 cups of tallow rendered. I strained it twice because I like to extra strain it. And then I added a 1/4 cup of rosehip seed oil, which is also really good for your skin. And so then I did a 1/4 cup of that and a cup of olive oil. This is gonna make a really big batch. Okay, so then what I did, after it's all melted, everything's combined, you're gonna put it in a flat pan like this, and you're gonna let it chill in your fridge. And the reason, you can keep it in the bowl, but the problem is it's gonna take forever to chill, and then you'll probably forget about it, and then it will get too hard. So you want it to be of the consistency of being able to push your finger in, so a little bit harder than butter that's at room temperature, because that's how you're gonna whip it. You could use it just like this if you wanted to, but I like to whip my butter because it is super fun and just luxurious. Okay, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up real fast. Because my daughter apparently needs lavender oil, getting text messages from my husband. Okay, so then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it into either your KitchenAid mixer, or I haven't added any essential oils yet. So you're gonna put it into your KitchenAid mixer or a food processor, and you're gonna whip it. So you're gonna have to scrape down the sides a couple times, and you're gonna just keep whipping it, and it's gonna get really fluffy and gorgeous. And it's gonna feel so good on your skin, you guys. You're gonna love it. And if you're local to Milwaukee, I'm hosting a class on Wednesday. You can come to my house and make this with me and bring some home with you. Okay, check that out. Okay, I probably would whip it just a little bit longer, but this is gonna last you so long because you don't need that much because it spreads really far. So then what I do is I measure out how much I want to add to this little guy, because I like to put them in vintage pretty little containers, or this is a 4-ounce mason jar. So I'll measure out how much I need for a 4-ounce mason jar, and then I'm going to add in my essential oils because I like to mix it up. Sometimes friends come over and I like to have tallow balm already ready whipped, but without oils into it, because then I specifically add specific oils that they need for their different skin stuff going on. So some of the oils that I grabbed today that are great for the skin are frankincense, Stress Away, love this one, smells like vacation in a bottle. Joy, this one is so great for the skin. All of these are super nourishing to the skin. Joy is awesome. It's also really uplifting, and lavender is amazing for the skin. Other ones that would be great would be Gentle Baby. And then there's, you know, you can really, the sky's the limit as far as what oils you can add to the butter based off of your needs. You can even make one for supporting healthy joints and bones or achy muscles. You can make one for any sort of other skin issues that you might have going on. So look up what oils would be good to go in your body butter for you and figure out which oils you want to put in. And as far as the ratio goes, for 4 ounces, my ratio is 40 drops to 4 ounces, because I do a 1/2 teaspoon to 4 ounces. So it ends up being about 48 drops. total. So, all right guys, that's everything. Let me know if you have questions. I hope that you have fun making your homemade body butter. You'll never want to buy store-bought again because it's full of nasty junk. Bye.